Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the VillageFest board meeting. My name is Dottie Watson, I'm the chair, and I'd like to call to order our meeting September 10th, 2019 at 3:30. Roll call, please.
Chair Watson,
Here.
Vice Chair Campbell,
Here.
Board Member Celia, here. Board Member Darrell Flick,
Here.
Board Member Daniel Ganella is currently absent, Board Member Julie Montanti, here. Board Member Bond is absent, and Main Street Joy Brown Meredith.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, this is where the public can come up and give any comments about VillageFest, or the board. You would get 3 minutes if you have anybody that would like to do that. You know? Okay. Board comments, and I have a board comment. Anyway, I want to introduce, because we've got some new board members just starting. To my right is Celia Barton and Daniel Ganella. I don't know where he is. Hopefully he's on his way. And down there is a gentleman, Darrell Flick.
Down there.
You down there?
Down yonder.
Welcome, guys, and And the other thing, I want to thank staff for the retreat, because you guys did such a great job. And I think it was great because everybody got to know each other.
Yes.
And I think it was pretty informative, don't you think? Okay, yeah, that was the whole point. Okay, anybody else have any comments? Board comments? Nope? Okay. Faith, any correspondence?
We have none.
Okay. All right, the next is the consent calendar. The following routine matters may be acted upon by one motion. Individual items may be removed from the consent calendar by the members of the VillageFest board for separate discussion and or vote. You'll have a motion.
I move we accept the consent calendar.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Oh, what?
Because I think we have to separate them.
Separate what?
Because everybody wasn't here for the
Right,
minutes.
we have 3 new board members.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
2. And you guys were absent at the last meeting, correct? The one in July? Yeah,
I think I
you were there.
was here.
So we can't do the approval of the minutes.
Right.
Julie wasn't here.
Okay, so it could be.
So amend that.
Well, so it'd be half. You were there, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 that were not.
We're never gonna have we're never gonna be able to do it because he wasn't here either.
Right. No, but he's not here right now, so we can approve that, because can we approve it with 3 and 3?
It would be the majority of those that were on the board at that time. I think that that's acceptable.
Okay, let's go
Because
to that
it's
at the
just
end when Jasmine's.
Okay, all right.
Just make sure that we do that correctly.
Okay, the next thing is the legislative action, and that is when all the prospective vendors can come up. And because we have so many, we're really gonna hold the time. You're given 5 minutes to give your presentation. And that's just telling us about yourselves and your product. I'm going to give you time if you have, like jewelry or art, to set it up first, because it's difficult to do that and hold the microphone at the same time. Anyway, our vice chair is gonna watch the time and we'll let you know when your time is up. So the first one, is he here? Okay, he's coming.
Oh, okay.
Heyday, Brad Reel? That's all right, we figured you were walking. Hi Brad, how are you?
Good afternoon, board members. How are you?
Good. You have food?
We do. We do.
Okay.
Thank you for seeing us.
Uh-huh.
I'm Brad. This is my wife, Crystal. We are the
Hi
Heyday.
Crystal.
Hi, Crystal.
We have now been vendors at VillageFest for just shy of a year. Yeah, with our burger pop-up. And it has gone fantastic. So fantastic that we would like to introduce another booth. It is still branded as the Heyday, but it's a completely different type of food. So what you have in front of you, actually first a warning, this product does have pork, it does contain pork. It is our Heyday Cubano, or Cuban sandwich. It is a completely locally sourced item. You'll notice the bread is a Townie Bagels baguette. All of our pork, ham, cheese products are sourced from Crown Meat, which is a local Palm Springs company. And the one thing that I think that separates ours apart a little bit is instead of oven roasting our pork shoulder, we actually smoke it American barbecue style, but with all Cuban flavors. So we actually spritz on our mojo rather than marinating it in the mojo. But yeah, we've done a few pop-ups with it throughout the summer. We didn't want to introduce it during some of the rougher, days out there. But now we're getting into October, and now that we have our proof of concept, we'd really like to, be out there with something new in addition to it. Let me know if you have any questions.
So this is gonna be an additional booth for when you go, okay. And you're also gonna have potato chips, water and sparkling water?
Yes, and I actually wrote potato chips, but actually what I meant were the plantains. They're also pre-bagged, but it goes better with the Cuban sandwich.
Okay.
Those were bananas, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions?
Are you planning to be there year round or just?
Year round.
Well, you're there now all year round.
We are currently there year round, yeah, but we want to grow with it. It's been so successful for us that we feel like bringing something else in addition to is just not only benefiting the community, but it allows for Crystal and I to do this full time, which is really important, and locally. We don't have to leave the area for other events. This is another way for us to, keep it going,
Are you still be cooking the hamburgers?
of course.
Is it good?
So the one question that I just want to ask is, so why is it that you want to have a separate booth for it instead of at the same? I'm just curious.
One of the
Just the branding?
Yes, that we've found that the individual concepts that we've kind of developed stand alone much better. We tend to, it gets confusing to people a little bit. That's why the Heyday booth will still have our branding on it, but it will look different. It will have kind of like a different vibe. People will know, oh, that's those people that do the burgers, whatever, but, oh, I wanna try that out, it's different.
And were you planning on doing both of the booths year round?
Simultaneously year round.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about this sandwich,
Oh,
because I know you've been offering it at one of the local
Yeah.
clubs.
Yeah, we've been
on
testing it.
Southampton. Yeah, so nice.
Yes. And are they gonna be separate parts of are you gonna have it together or are you gonna
I
have
would
separate
prefer
parts?
if they were separate. I feel like VillageFest is something that gets 5,000 to 6,000 people every week. And, if we have X amount of people that walk by our booth, and sometimes they don't want a burger, and I think that that's totally fine. But it also gives us an opportunity to see some other people that might go, oh, I've heard of that. And I'd rather them not have to choose either or.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And you think town is gonna be able to sustain your needs so that you have that, within Palm Springs, within the valley, cross business going?
Of course, yeah. We've discussed with them. They're aware of our time frame. This today's the 10th, we probably won't be beginning until October 3rd. So they'll be ready for this.
Okay.
Anybody else have a question?
Are the two different booths, are they branded and is the look and feel the same? They'll just be separated by distance?
Yeah, so they have our logo, which is on that bag, if you see that. But then our burger one says Burger Pop-Up, and then our Cubanos one says Cubanos, and it will have kind of like a yeah, it's a little it has kind of almost like a 60s Havana vibe a little bit. So people will recognize the similarities, but also know that they're different.
Right.
And you prefer for them not to be adjacent?
I would prefer, but we're not sticklers. Whatever's
And it
convenient.
depends on staff, whether they can, we can never promise a certain space, as you know. And it's not up to us, it's those girls right there. Anybody else have any more questions? No? All right, so we can get into discussion. I need a motion.
I would accept this vendor.
I'll second.
Okay, do we have any discussion? Everything is good?
All is good.
Everything is good? Everything? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, good luck for us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Anyone? We'll see you on the street.
No, I was not going to take that.
Chris?
Because Laura is probably watching.
Tradition.
Take care, folks.
Tradition, yeah.
So, Chair Watson, I just wanted to say that, for anybody that's just wondering, that I'm here as a Main Street representative now, not as a commissioner, and so, I can't make any motions or vote, but I can join in the conversation. Thank you.
Which we respect.
I didn't want anybody to think I wasn't voting for that.
Talk about it.
Okay, the next one, I wanna make a correction on that. The next one is Prickly Pear Boutique, Lindsay Garcia. Are you here?
Yes.
No? Oh, here you are. Okay, that's really a downtown merchant, correct?
Yes.
Faith?
I'm sorry.
Downtown merchant. Yeah, okay. Take your time and put your merchandise up, and then when you wanna, tell us about your product and yourself, you can take that microphone off the stand if it's easier for you.
Okay, thank you.
Have you been downtown long?
Excuse me?
Have you been downtown merchant for a while?
We just opened June 2nd.
Oh, wonderful.
So we're still very new.
I know I read
We just wanna
part of
get
it,
the
but I
word
didn't
out there
understand.
about
Yeah.
us.
Where are you located?
155 South Palm Canyon by Rudy's and Cold Stone.
Good.
We have a beautiful variety of bags.
Cute items. Sandwiches are good.
Oh,
There's quite a variety of different things that we have in our store.
Now, are these the things that you're going to be putting in the booth? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The things that I did not put on the list were things that we just started carrying, home decor, which we're Prickly Pear Boutique, so we started carrying like different things that are Prickly Pear, and a little bit of home decor, which has been doing really well.
So which items were not on the list?
The home
Just
decor,
that?
we
Okay.
just started getting that.
is that lotion?
This is a face cream, so we do health and beauty as well, so it's like a sugar scrub, and then an AHA scrub.
Okay. So, Faith, we could just add a couple things that you didn't put on the list, correct?
The application was around there,
Okay.
but yes, we can add
We
them.
Yeah,
just
just that.
started carrying those
Okay.
next, so that's why
You're
it's
wrong.
on the list.
Go ahead.
So I have bags that we're gonna be carrying, available style bags, we have clutches, we have an Uno de 50 collection that's from Madrid, Spain, so we carry their jewelry as well, which would be right here, and that would be in the booth. And then just some cute little earrings, we have a whole spinner of that, we have a line of sunglasses, just fashion sunglasses, nothing expensive. Just very organic looking hats and bags. We have different shoes, just a variety of sandals, nothing fancy, just flat, something you can wear every day. And we do have, it is a clothing boutique, so we do have clothing that we wanna show people at our booth. Just stuff that's like more resort wear, stuff that you can just throw on and go. Just loose, flowy stuff for everyday Palm Springs
Are
wear.
you just showing these at the boutique, or you'll be selling them at the?
We'll be selling them
I
at
mean,
the booth,
at the booth.
that way we'll get attention for our store as well. These will be selling at our booth, just like kimonos, cardigans, sweaters, and dresses, as well as our accessories. Which we have spinners, which these catch the light really well. These
Yeah,
have been
Lindsay,
doing-
why don't you pass a couple things around so that.
Of course.
You don't have to do everything, but. And the new board members, as you know, are downtown merchants, they don't have to make their documents.
Okay.
And we need paid attention. And these are cute. Nice size.
Those are from our skincare line, those have been doing really well for us, it's all organic, it's cruelty free, no parabens, it's really great. So an AHA stuff is organic as well.
Okay, you don't have to send any more around, I think. Now, what do the bags usually sell for?
That one is $42.95.
Very nice. Okay. Yes,
It's gonna be fun.
So,
any questions? Anybody have any questions?
Oh, lovely.
You have questions?
Well, I just wondered about the display.
There's your booth, yeah.
If you're gonna be having things like this on tables.
that was just because we just opened and we wanted to get a booth. We didn't have like a rolling rack yet, but we will have a rolling rack on the site.
Would we like rolling racks?
The-
Do we do rolling racks? I thought we said we
I-
didn't do rolling racks.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah,
can, we
are
can find
we
another
doing
way to
rolling
display
racks?
it.
No, okay, no rolling racks. But you can hang them.
Yeah, we would hang them on the back.
Yeah, like you have here.
Yeah.
Which, it's a nice booth.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody
Like,
have?
pass this down so people can see the setup.
Yeah, just being new, we wanna get out on the street, that way people know us and we kinda get the word out there that we're here and we're ready to sell.
It's a nice product, I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, I need a motion so we can discuss.
Oh, wait, I do have one question. So now, how long are you planning to do this for? Is this gonna be like a year-round thing? Or are
Year-round,
you doing it
yes.
like now just to sort of?
No, we're gonna do it year round. I've heard great things about VillageFest and does great
It is
partnerships.
year-round.
Yeah.
Even when it's hot.
Yeah, I'm local, I've known how hot our hots get.
Make a motion that we accept Berkeley Pear Boutique.
A second.
All right, any discussion? Everybody like?
Yep.
What you saw? Okay.
Welcome to downtown.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
good luck down there.
Daryl
All
will
right,
see you
all
on the
those in
street.
favor? All those
It'll
in
be
favor?
there.
Aye, opposed, none. Okay.
We'll see you on the street.
Yeah, there you go. Good luck on the street. That would be mine.
Daryl's line for
Yeah.
see you on the street.
Okay.
You
We have one. I'll give you a chance to, the next person up is, Rubery. Just give her a chance to, put her things away. You can set your food up back there if you want. Thank you, Jerry.
I'm just ready.
It was only, in fact, it was over here.
They have
Chris had
them
it.
in the,
Right. That's all right. We'll manage. Thank you, Lindsay. You too. Okay.
Hello, how are you?
You can take that off if you want and hold it. If you wanna walk around, there you go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my name's Terry, and this is my husband Ruben, and we're Rubery. Okay, so me and Ruben have been creating salsas for a very long time now, giving it out to friends and family, and it's been very popular. And so we've been trying to get it out there, and so we thought it'd be a great idea to get a taco stand. And I understand you already have a couple taco stands out there, but we have fusion tacos. Fusion combined with Asian and Mexican ingredients. So it'll be like, we have a wasabi chicken taco. Yeah, and then we have, you gave me, honey, I forgot the
I know
name.
exactly.
Okay, and then there's chili relleno chicken taco. It's a combination of some Asian and Mexican food in tacos, which are very good. We're mostly trying to promote our salsa. It's a creamy salsa, and we've been everywhere and no one's ever had it, or we don't taste anything like it, so it's very good. And you can have it with anything. You can have it with Mexican food, or Asian food, or salads, or just a dip. Yeah, it's very different from what's out there.
Fight, it's good.
It's not
That's
You got it?
That's what it's
Okay.
But along with, we're all gonna also sell like regular tacos, like street tacos and regular hard shell and soft shell tacos also, but we're mainly focusing on the infused tacos because there's nothing out like it out here in the valley. So
And you're also gonna have the virgin margaritas.
oh yes, also. I'll pass this around, but along with our tacos, infused tacos, we're bartenders. We've been bartenders for over 20 years out here in this valley. And so we love making drinks. And what's popular at our bars, we want to be able to sell mocktails, which is virgin cocktails of like virgin mangonadas, virgin chivelas, which is very popular with alcohol, of course, but we're not going to put the alcohol in there. But I want to pass this around. This is how it's going to look like. The straw is actually a Mexican candy with a straw, and you can actually eat it. But that's the mangonadas, mango flavor, and then the virgin chivelas. Yeah, but those drinks are very popular in this everywhere. So that's how it'll be looking like, and that's our little logo. And then virgin pina coladas, virgin daiquiris, just virgin cocktails to go with it.
Did everybody get?
Did everybody get? Oh yeah, there's the stuff. We'll leave that.
I think you're very
Yeah, it's a little.
No, that's good.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's good.
I think you've done
It's
a
different.
great
It's
job
different.
with the drinks, it's
Oh.
very creative,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really actually happy to see people doing that.
doing different things.
Yeah.
That sauce is good.
Yeah, because it's like combined. Who would think combined with Asian food with tacos? But it's actually really tasty.
That's like green
The creamy salsa that's like been really popular. Be careful with that.
Good.
Don't hurt yourself, please.
Julie can take it.
Smoke mushrooms.
Okay. Anybody
All of a
have any
sudden from the bottom,
questions?
I love this, so very different.
Any questions, anybody?
Very good, it's very good.
I'd make a motion to approve.
I second that motion.
All right, any discussion? I don't think so. I think the food has said it all. Okay.
I'll
All
shot
those
of
in
tequila
favor?
to go with
All
it.
right, aye, opposed, none, okay.
Thank you.
You're
very
welcome.
much. Thank you.
Thank you for the food. My husband was tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Before we
Hard
go,
to see it again. Oh, the green is awesome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
thank you. Faith, before we go any further, why don't we ask Jasmine about the?
I did, we'll do it at the end.
Oh, at the end, okay. All right.
Oh, sure. Whoever wants salsa.
Thank you.
Okay, Hope Palm Springs, Reverend Jim Edmondson,
Right here.
hello, Reverend, nonprofit. How are you?
I'm great. How are all of you?
Oh, we're good.
I see you eat well at your
Sometimes.
board meetings.
Tonight it's really more than usual.
This must be a popular group to serve on.
Yes, it is.
You know what?
So
Hold the microphone when you're walking around, otherwise nobody's gonna hear you.
I'll just drop these off
Okay, great.
and then I'll go back to the mic. So here you go. Excuse me.
No problem.
Okay. Well, I have no food.
That's okay.
And I have nothing to offer you in terms of things that we're looking to sell. But we want to come to VillageFest to reflect something that's very central, I believe, to our Palm Springs diversity and community, and that is that we are a spiritual community, regardless of which denomination or which religion one may believe. You know, we're surrounded by the beauty of these hills, and we're out on the trails and things like that. And so when we have surveyed Palm Springs, we find that there's very little denominational loyalty, but in terms of spirituality, Palm Springs ranks very, very high. And we all have different definitions of that. My name's Tim Edmondson. I'm the pastor of Hope Palm Springs. We are a brand new Lutheran faith community here in Palm Springs. We have some Lutheran churches out on the other end of the valley, but we haven't had a Lutheran presence here in Palm Springs in regards to our denomination. We're what's called the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America. One of those brochures, right off the bat, that is in there says, what's this with the E word, evangelical, because that's a word that scares a lot of people away. And in our understanding of it, it simply means we're people that tell the good news. There is another Lutheran denomination in Palm Springs. We are the open and affirming, fully embracing family of Lutherans. As a matter of fact, the queer community is a community that I identify with myself. And so our larger denomination has sent us into Palm Springs to start a brand new faith community. We've got every brand of mainline denomination here in the village, but we're missing this particular flavor. And now we are finally at the table. I always say we may be late to the table, but we're not late to the feast. And so we're here as Hope Palm Springs, a Lutheran faith community. We worship at Temple Isaiah, which is a sign of our partnership with other faiths. While we are centered in Christianity, we are also broader and have places where even agnostics and atheists and people of different ways that they seek God in the world are part of our community. We want to go to VillageFest simply to highlight what is part of the diversity of our community, which is we do have an aspect of spirituality here. And our goal is not to go in and proselytize or evangelize, but simply to make people aware that we have a new faith community in the desert. So that's our goal. And we know we're a little bit unique in that because there aren't a whole lot of booths at VillageFest. I know there's you can meet the rabbi.
Ask the rabbi.
Ask the rabbi, thank you. Yes, and we would like to be out there too. As you see on the front of our brochure, we have three words that we gather our faith community around: gather, love, and serve. We are already in the community. We work with Well in the Desert weekly. We'll be here next week as their advocates as they are up for a renewal of their lease. We are partners with the Methodists, the Episcopalians, with Bloom in the Desert already, doing things with them. So our goal is to invest in this community, to be part of a larger spiritual community, which reflects the beautiful diversity of this town.
Very nice.
Are you gonna be handing out those brochures?
Yes, that would be the plan, that we would have those brochures available.
Information, yeah.
That would be kind of the conversation, the centerpiece of the conversations, yes. So, yes, sir.
And do you have any intention of fundraising or collecting donations at VillageFest?
We have none, no. But we are at this point fully funded by our larger denomination, through our bishop's office, through our synod, and that is not our intention to go in there. It's pretty much simply to say, hey, there's a Lutheran presence, there's a new faith community, and if that's something that is of interest to you, then we'll share that information. Perhaps ask them to sign up for an online newsletter, but no, we won't be soliciting donations at all at that table.
All religion's good religion, so I welcome it.
How are you planning to attract people to your booth?
We'll have bottled water. And in terms of all the good food that you have here, we think we have a colorful booth. We're going to have a big cutout of Martin Luther there in his garb, and it's going to say, you're going to have fun things like, where's the pool party? And those sorts of things. So we're going to be a little bit of a different animal.
And chilled holy water in the desert, it goes a long way.
Yeah, chilled holy water, there you go.
Anybody else have any questions? No? No questions? Okay, let me have a motion so we can get into a discussion if any.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
I'm just curious about handing out the brochures and how far away from the booth they might be. I mean, because we've had some issues with people blocking flow of traffic, handing out brochures or trying to get people to come to their booth.
Right, well, I think our intention, sorry to interrupt you there, but I think our intention will be behind the table at the booth. And if someone
Okay.
comes up to us and wants to talk, then the brochures will be available.
Okay, so you don't want wandering
No,
down.
we have no intention of doing that. I don't want you to imagine street
Okay.
evangelists. That's not gonna happen. There will be no bullhorn, that sort of thing.
But one other thing that I just wanted to ask staff about, and that was about giving away bottles of water when there are people there that are selling.
Or
liquor.
charging.
About giving away water.
I think you.
Yeah, I mean, I was just
Okay.
threw that in there, but, so,
Oh, well, hold
in
on.
other words, yeah, that would not be allowed because other people are selling the water, correct?
Right.
Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense.
But I'm
But
sure
nobody is selling holy water.
Yeah, holy water, there
So
you
you
go.
got an open market on that one.
There you go, you know, if we
Change
branch
your
out,
mind though, you have to come
if
back.
we end up with t-shirts or something like that, then I understand that that is something that we would come back to the board and request permission to do.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, none.
We'll see you on the street.
Thank you very much. I do have one question, and that is, do we receive notification then as to where and when and all that? Oh, you're gonna hand that to me right now? Excellent.
They're
Thank
the ones
you.
you see next.
Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you. All right, the next one, excuse me, is Anna Temptation and Creation, Joan Anna Nicholas, Farmers Market and Arts and Crafts. That's the question.
Let me ask you a question real quick before we begin. Who does not like banana bread or granola?
Who doesn't like it?
Who does not like it?
I
They don't live here.
Well, you guys have got a palate full of food already. And what I'm gonna give you is probably going to be the best banana bread and granola you've ever eaten. And I'm not biased because it's our product.
Not at all.
I'm simply stating testimony from our own customers, friends, and family. So what we have is banana bread and granola. She's gonna go ahead and pass around the pumpkin bread, I believe, which is, huh?
Wasn't granola on the list?
Yes.
Granola?
Banana bread and gluten-free.
Vegan.
The pumpkin bread is what's new. We haven't had
Oh. Oh, wow. Dessert?
No, that's coming later.
So as you can see, here's our bag of granola. It's just your typical, I would call it organic friendly or environmentally friendly packaging. And not just that, we had a gentleman here talking about spirituality. We are also yoga instructors. We've been in the business of yoga for over 10 years. I've been a martial artist since I was 5 years old, learning the techniques and the ways of how to overcome the mind through the body and the emotions.
Hold on to that microphone, yeah, otherwise nobody's gonna hear it.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So what we put on the back is a lot of different quotes from a lot of different, what you would call enlightened individuals, people like Sadhguru, Alan Watts, you've heard of Damar Mitri maybe, people that go up to Bhakti Fest and Joshua Tree, things of that nature. So what we want to do is we want to bring not just a holistic kind of food to the people that is all vegan and gluten-free. There's no animal products in there at all whatsoever. And what we offer is a way for people not just to eat and enjoy the taste buds, but also take a look at the paintings that she does from hand. And we'll range these anywhere from $50 to $100. And if people want to talk and discuss further things, we have our yoga business cards, and maybe we could even have a yoga mat at the place where she does her spectacular moves in yoga, just to offer questions and to draw people in. Once people start seeing her literally stand on her hands, everybody's gonna ask, how is it done? Too bad she can't do it now because she's in a dress. But, no kidding, this little woman can pick herself up from this table and throw her feet overhead and hold perfectly still without falling. So what we have is a way for people to get healthy, not just on the basic level by offering them a morsel to eat while they're walking, having fun, some eyes fun to look at, and if they wanna find a way to combat that diabetes, find a way to combat that cancer. Disease only exists in one place. This is not known to the public, but it exists in your gut, in your belly, your third brain. And it's because of acidosis. And if you can get rid of just the acid in the body, then we can take you to a new step of health and wellness, which is creating an alkaline body, which is what that granola and the banana bread is.
Are you also promoting your yoga business?
If they ask for it, sure. But no, that's not the intention. The intention is going to be granola and the banana bread and the pancakes.
Are there any pictures in here of you, painting?
Yes, there should be video clips, we sent you,
Oh,
we
yeah,
sent
yeah,
pictures,
yeah, I
video
gotta see that.
clips, et cetera.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't see the video, I couldn't open it.
Oh, you couldn't open it, okay.
Is that the actual size of the granola bag?
That, yes, yes.
Okay.
Actually, we have some more, here, that everybody can see.
And are they gonna be in seafood
Well,
or in?
okay, that, we're gonna get into that right now.
That's,
Okay.
There's a couple.
Before we go any further, have you considered, having 2 booths?
We would love to have 2 booths, absolutely.
Okay, because, and I'm gonna refer this, to staff, I don't think we've ever mixed food and any other product on the street before. So I don't think, I mean, everything you're showing us is great,
Okay.
okay? Putting it in one booth, I think, is a problem.
You think it would be too much?
Well, wait a minute, let's hear it from staff.
So it's not necessarily a problem, it's been a previous practice that the board does not have 2 completely separate products in one booth. It does not go against any of your rules and regulations. So it could be up to this board's discretion if you wanted to change that practice. But in the past, the board has not allowed 2 completely separate products to be sold out of one booth. But again, it is not against any of your current rules and regulations.
So my question would be, would they have to pay 2?
Yes.
Okay,
it'd be 2
so
separate
do you
booths.
have a lot of that, or is it just pieces here and there that you have of your art? Because if it's a background of your booth,
Yes. We have an entire 5-6 years of paintings that we can, I mean, we've sold a lot, but the way she goes at it, she just goes and finishes and goes and finishes, so we do have a lot still.
anything besides the paintings? No t-shirts or?
Those are in production, but we do not have them finished yet.
So, I know that if you do add a product like that, you have to come back before the board before you can bring that to your booth.
Okay. So for now, just granola and bread?
I still wanna talk about the granola being food in with the same.
Well, it has always been the practice, but like Jasmine said, it's not written in the rules, but
I think it's opening up a door.
well, I prefer, I mean, personally, although I cannot vote, I can speak, that personally I'd like to keep it that way, cause it just brings up a lot of questions, and for those
Yeah.
before that did not, although these things go together,
Yeah.
but it would be nicer.
my thought would be that I think that it's gonna cost you double. If you could put a few of those out and see how they go, then you can ask for another booth, so you're not paying double right off the bat.
Okay.
And then if it goes well for you, get another booth, and if not, I don't see the problem, it all works.
Okay. So we have a good trial period?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's not up to me, that's
I
my,
don't know if I
that's
agree with
my,
that, but, okay.
So I'm not sure I'm clear on what you're proposing.
Well,
I'm proposing that they're new, they're gonna pay double for 2 booths. I'm thinking that if the artwork doesn't go, they can get rid of it, and they haven't wasted a lot of money. We're here to help them as well. So I'm thinking that maybe since all this goes together, they can put a few up. If they go great, then you can open another booth, and if they don't go great, then he can get rid of them and go on with his granola or the rest of the food.
well, since it hasn't been done in a while, it's up to us whether we want to set this precedent, having food in with the, the
I
art.
am curious about something you said though. You said that you consider the granola food but not the banana bread?
Yeah, that's food also.
Yeah,
That was,
and so
because
the
that's why,
pumpkin bread, if you're gonna be doing this, it's not.
yeah,
by the way,
that's why it comes under farmer's market.
Yep.
So what does the board,
Yeah.
think?
I think if we're gonna expand, if they're gonna be in the farmer's market, to expand with merchandise, I think it's gonna set a precedent
Yes.
that
I absolutely agree with
other
you, too.
farmer's market people are gonna want to bring
Yeah.
things into their.
And we don't allow that now, just so you know.
It's not that we don't allow it, it's just never been done.
Yeah, and my problem with it is, I mean, if we do it, then anybody else that comes before us that sells pottery and wants to sell, I don't know, cookies, it's gonna just open the door for
I was
all
gonna-
this. You can't do one and then turn down others, and that's my problem with that, so.
So,
I mean-
are you willing to have two separate booths, one that's a craft booth for just your painting, your artwork?
We are.
And one that's a food booth?
We are. We wanted to give this a trial run to see how you guys would take in having merchandise and food, but our ultimate front business is going to be the food.
Okay, that
And
was.
then what we would do is later on down the road, go ahead and add this into
Okay.
a second booth.
I-
Because there is more, there's t-shirts and shorts and yoga
Okay.
pants. and
That would be
yoga
different.
pants.
I would
Yeah,
come back and.
Okay.
I say, you know, I mean, it's up to the board, but I think doing your granola and your, other food and put you in the food, the farmer's market area is a great area for you.
Absolutely.
And then if you
Granola
wanna
is
do
delicious.
this,
It's a really good
and
product.
then the other thing was, the yoga.
But
Yeah, I'm concerned that you're mixing your metaphors here and
Yeah.
that people will not understand really what the approach is or what they're coming after versus if you take it as while I understand the spiritual living and a holistic path to wellness,
We have to amend,
that on the main street is gonna send one message versus granola on the side street sending another message. If you put it all together, people are just gonna start to get confused who you are and that the art's decoration to sell granola.
I think
It
they're
takes
willing,
it away
I think
from
they're
the-
willing to not put these out right
Mhm.
now and maybe cultivate that whole, yoga.
Right.
Joy?
I would actually recommend that if they chose to have two booths, that they would be out on the street as general vendors. There already is a granola booth in the farmer's market, and so if they
Yeah.
were out with the general vendors with the two booths next to each other, I think that that's what makes the
Right,
most sense.
right.
I like
But the food would still be under the category of farmer's market.
Right.
Yes, but not
Okay.
located in the
Yeah,
farmer's market.
and wherever the staff wants to put them. So
And frankly, with the season coming up, the cooler weather, granola and banana bread and other things, I think it's a good time for that to start.
Right.
Absolutely. That pumpkin bread is gonna be a hit next month.
A pumpkin bread, excuse me.
But I'm confused why we wouldn't want them to represent that booth in the farmer's market. It is a farmer's market product.
Well, I think, right, you're Mike.
Yeah, so I'm confused why we would steer them out of the farmer's market area since it is really a farmer's market product, right? And, you know, where there's dried fruit near each other as well. And it kind of makes sense as a VillageFest goer to be able to see all of those things together instead of saying, oh, that other guy had granola 2 blocks back.
But there are other vendors on the main street that have food products, like
Mhm.
cookies. that-
Cookies,
There are, okay.
Yeah, there are.
So it's
Okay.
not exclusive.
I just think that the booths next to each other, if
Mhm.
possible, would look really awesome.
They would complement each other in the end.
So I guess our question is, are you willing to do two booths, or you wanna try with one? Your granola and your sweets and,
We do have an intention to go with two. Let's take one for now.
Okay.
which one do you wanna do for
The
now?
granola banana bread first.
Because
My
you
question
have
is,
other
can we
products
vote-
you wanna bring in as well, when you do these, you're gonna wanna bring in yoga pants and your yoga
That would be a
business and
whole
all.
separate booth.
Right.
That would
We'd
be.
have to come
Yes.
before us
So
again.
my question is, can we approve him for 2 and then if he wants to start with 1 and then do 2, it's up to
Yeah.
We
him?
need to see
Yeah.
what's gonna be in the second.
Yeah,
booth.
we
Well,
don't have an application.
Well, it'll be this, it'll be the artwork, now if he wants to add other things, like, what did you say?
Yoga pants.
Pants and stuff like that, you'd have
So
to,
what we'll do is let's just start with the one.
okay,
And then once this gets organized with the other merchandise, we'll come back before you guys and show you what we've accomplished
Okay.
and finished.
Sweet.
And that way we can set that second.
alright, that'll work good. Okay.
Two-pronged visit is good, I think
Alright,
it's a good approach.
let's have a motion amending.
Wait, so
Oh,
we're
sorry.
changing this, aren't we then? Then
Yeah.
we're changing this application
Yeah,
to
they're
take
not
off the
good.
paintings.
Right.
And you have to add on, are you gonna be doing the pumpkin bread?
Right.
You have to add that to this, we have to add that to this,
Yeah.
no? Right?
Yeah, they'll have it, stamp on
Or just say various breads, I don't know.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's what we're voting on.
it.
Right.
Yeah, well, somebody's gonna make a motion stating what we're doing, okay? Alright, I need a motion.
Okay, so I make a motion that we're going to accept in one booth the pumpkin bread and the granola and the banana bread.
Okay,
A second.
second.
A second.
Okay, so we've already had a discussion, anything else that you, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, none. There you
So
go.
you
And you're clear that to add any other
Yeah.
food products to this, you have to come back, you have to,
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
so if you made like a third bread, if you made a poppy seed bread, you can't just bring that to the booth, you understand that?
Right.
Okay, good. All right.
Great.
Your product is delicious.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
it's
Who
gonna.
didn't like it?
Oh, there you go.
Honestly, it's
But it has to
uh,
be like that.
Alright, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, we have the leftover bread if you guys would like.
Yeah, leave it here. We divvy it off at the
You
end.
might consider it.
Or you can give some to the audience.
Share the love.
You gotta leave.
You guys want some bread?
These good people in the
Yeah,
audience.
samples.
They've been watching us eat for.
It's delicious, really.
Are you gonna pass that around?
Thank you,
Enjoy it.
gentlemen. Thank you very much for your
And on
presentation.
every single package of granola is our Instagram, our business Instagram, and a way you guys could get in contact with us if something on the back may have touched you in a specific way or resonated with you.
Rescue me, dog.
Thank you. Great, thank you. Okay.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
I always bring it. Okay, we have, I'm sorry, Kim Dobrowski.
Dobrowolski.
Oh, thank you for
It
saying
took me
that.
10 years to learn how to spell it.
Okay, Kim, go ahead.
I am Kim with Rescue Dog Treat Company.
Yeah,
We are an all-natural dog treat company here in the valley. And
hold it up to your mouth, oh, wait,
everything that we make is all natural. We use local products. We also make a paw balm. And we have our, we just did an addendum to our application for our bandanas because we forgot to put those in. We also make Velcro bandanas. And basically what our treats are is we do everything in small batches. They're hand cut, hand stamped. We have our own Rescue Me stamp that goes on every cookie. The jerkies are all hand sliced and hand done, natural beef. We have natural top sirloin beef. We use a chicken breast and we use a pork shoulder for our jerkies. And on the cookies, again, they're all natural, all hand done. Our paw balm, we also make, and it's all made with natural products, shea butters, cocoa butters. It's kind of like chapstick for their feet. And basically what our business does is 40% of our profits are supported to local rescues and sanctuaries.
Oh,
nice.
We support the Living Free Sanctuary up in Idlewild. There's 2 small rescues here in town. So we keep everything local. We keep enough to keep the business moving. So that the more treats we sell, the more babies we can have.
Awesome.
Did you wanna take a closer look? Sure.
And you make all this,
I make everything.
okay.
Did she submit a video or anything like that, just the stills?
I just have the stills, because usually I'm doing
Are there
it by
pictures
myself,
in
so
here?
it's hard for me to.
There are
read it.
pictures, but I only see hands and limbs.
Okay.
Goes for my hands and limbs. Yeah,
It's
I
tricky, I
didn't-
understand operating a
Yeah.
sewing machine or an oven while you're doing
I
it.
didn't have that everybody when I'm submitting it to have video while I was doing it, so I did the best I could with the wacky pictures.
What are the prices of these?
The cookies are $7 a bag and the jerkies are 10.
And what about the sweet potato chips?
Sweet potato chips are 40.
Okay.
These are also all natural, we use organic sweet potatoes. And then, and you can see the cookies too, they all have our stamp on them.
And the sweet potatoes are just dried sweet potatoes? Okay.
We have a process where we dehydrate and then we bake them so that they have a good shelf life, they're crispy for the pets, because most dogs don't like mushy things. They want something that's crunchy and that has good flavor. These are all basically human grade. I have people who actually eat some of them.
Okay, Kim, the one thing that we need for you to do, and it's easy. You just have to take a picture of where we can see you doing this and present that to staff. Okay? It's pretty simple.
And what is the representation on the balm? If I came up to you and asked you to tell me what this does for my dog,
Basically what it does is it keeps the paws from drying out. It's basically like a chapstick for our lips. It does the same thing to their feet, but it doesn't prevent them from sweating. It doesn't clog their pores. It keeps it just nice and moist, because if you notice your pet chewing on their feet, or their feet get that dry, pitted look. It's like our feet. You know, they get dry here in the desert, it is so dry. Their feet People don't realize their dog's feet get dry and hot too, and that's where they sweat from. So what the paw balm does is it helps prevent that. I also put it on their noses, elbows, their little twinkies, anything that's really dry.
I think your product's very well packaged, very
Yeah, it
nice,
is.
and your prices are really great.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's,
and
there's a
your
lot
booth
of
is,
people that have dogs in the desert, this is
they're
very,
very,
very
yeah,
nice.
and your booth is very good.
Thank you.
And this is very cute.
That is so cute.
And we
Yeah.
Velcro them because it's safer. People tie things on their dogs and don't realize if your dog jumps up on the fence and gets caught,
And
that's why we put the Velcro, it will be horrible.
great. Well, we're certainly dog and animal friendly downtown, so
And the
this should
fact
go
that you
over.
donate also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's the
really
main
honorable.
goal of Rescue Me Dog Tree Company is we donate as much as we can. We just keep enough to keep it going.
Okay, anybody have any more questions? No? Okay, okay, do you have a question?
No, I move, with the, just when you get the picture to the staff, then I move that we, accept this vendor.
I second. Okay, discussion then, okay. All right, so you're gonna send the picture?
Yes.
That's all you have to do, okay.
You
All
just
those in
want
favor?
one picture?
A couple. Aye. All those in favor, you got it, okay. Opposed?
Pictures of you in particular.
Your face.
Slicing that meat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Making
Eating that
these
meat,
different
yeah.
things, so making the bomb,
The
making
hands
that.
just don't work.
I know, it was really hard to try and get that.
I know, I
I'm
know.
trying
Try to
do
have
it.
somebody do it.
Yes, I will get somebody
Oh,
else to do it. Thank you.
They have to do it.
I would love to dogs to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll get that to you tomorrow.
But then it would be good to do the codes, that's why. Yes, dear.
Okay,
Mike
Thank
is
you,
Soul
Kim.
Kitchen.
Thank you, have a great night.
have fun on the street.
Thank you.
Micah's Soul Kitchen.
All right, Micah's Soul Kitchen, Sharmika Simmons. And Sharmika, you're from Desert Hot Springs, I see. My goodness, look at you.
up here?
Yeah, you know what, you can set it up there. I don't know if it smells good. Yeah. I got
Here, Darryl.
Is there anyone that is allergic to seafood?
No.
They were allergic to anything.
You can't be on the board if you have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yes, that's what I
That's
got.
the problem with
Being on the board.
Velcro.
All right, take the microphone, Shamika, and, you are Shamika, aren't you? Microphone is on, okay.
This is my daughter.
Okay, all right, you can take that off if you want.
Okay, my name is Shamika Simmons. I'm the owner of Mika's Soul Kitchen. I have been a resident of Palm Springs area since the age of 2. Growing up and attending street fair multiple times throughout my life, I can't recall seeing the type of diverse food I plan to bring to street fair. My plan as a food vendor is to bring food that I prepare personally with love from my heart and soul. My passion for cooking came from growing up cooking in the kitchen with my mother.
That hits a nerve, huh?
You're doing fine.
You're doing
It's
fine.
okay.
Breathe.
It's okay.
Go ahead,
Totally okay. You're good.
don't be nervous.
I think it's
Throughout my process, my mother, who taught me how to cook, inspired me to open business, passed away September 3rd, the day I turned in my application to this committee.
I'm so sorry.
My mother has helped me through this whole process, advising me what to add to the menu, how to represent my business. And after losing my mother, I just wanted to continue my journey of spreading love through cooking. I would be honored if this committee would access me to bring different food, love to my community. Thank you.
Thank you, Shamika. So sorry about your loss.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, it smells so good.
Do a picture of this.
coming.
Coming there.
It's coming down the road. Oh, my goodness.
The
Oh,
patience
she's
workshop.
so good tonight.
Go to another Jeff Corey. Just call them all Jeff Corey. Business retention.
Tonight, tonight.
No, that was last week. This one's Jeff and last week was Jeff.
Okay, so mom did not come from the valley.
Here, been here all my life.
No, but mom.
Mom.
Who
Mom
taught you
was
to cook?
born in Arkansas.
I was gonna say, cause this is southern.
Yes. So what we have here is we have fried cabbage, fried lobster, fried shrimp, and fried chicken, and garlic, corn on the cob.
Yeah, I was kind of curious when I saw the chicken, the corn, okay, but the moment the fried cabbage got open, I'm like, this is not valley food. I've lived in the South a total of 16 years in my life, trust me, yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. We have a.
The land where they fry butter.
Oh, that's all right, that's all right. I'll leave it. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you very much.
Tell you what, we can use a couple of those plates and. Oh, this is good, what is that?
I don't think anybody's offering that this week.
What do we, oh,
Oops.
Cabbage might be
Yeah,
a
it's
little
okay.
Yep.
Is there a hush
Oh,
puppy?
that lobster.
No, but there should be.
You missed the hush puppy.
Right. I'll get that next time.
Oh, this is good.
Well, you guys are certainly getting fed this time.
I know.
Sorry, that's
Trying to keep them from, you know, the file cabinet being living in like a hazmat site.
Oh. Yeah, can we have, like, to carry it home?
Well, you can't eat 4 meals today?
No.
In an hour?
This is my husband's dinner.
Mine too, but I eat it in the car.
Oh, okay. I won't tell him now.
Sorry, Scott.
Oh, no.
Behind you.
Oh, my phone.
Oh. That's actually what I was thinking, this is gonna be a fun company. I think this would be a nice little, shall we say, diversion to Valley Fair.
Well, it's certainly different in this food.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
I think we should make a motion to accept Micah's kitchen.
I would second that motion.
I don't think we have anything else to discuss. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none.
The only thing is that you should be aware that should you wanna add any other items, food items, you need to,
Yes, I definitely will be adding more.
But this
as
is
soon as I
good.
get a
Hush
price.
puppies.
But this is good.
They're delicious.
Have fun, have
Thank you
fun
so
doing
much.
it.
We'll see you on the street and
Thank
Mama's
you.
proud.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, my
I just need some goat sausage. Okay, now for dessert.
God. Okay, wait, let me get my.
Eat cookies.
Now, well, yeah, they're here.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my
It's
God.
cookie time.
It is
If they're not, I'm gonna be one.
David,
Yes.
come on down. Shall we eat
Good evening.
cookies? Oh, my God, are we being spoiled today?
Really? So like the old one,
No,
no, I know. I've said it, Mom, no.
this is unusual.
It's a feast.
Uh-huh, it is.
Maybe it needs these.
This is good, Joe.
Oh, you had this before? Oh, you do? Nice. We
And
can all
look at how
share
packed
here.
and
No,
packed
there's a
it
bag
is.
for each one.
Oh, thank you.
Totally spoiled.
Yeah. Treadmill just got a little longer. Okay, love the email address.
No, it's okay, I know this cookie.
Okay.
I can't keep people away from this cookie.
I bet you can.
He's got good cookies.
Oh, I didn't know if it's in here.
Hi, board members. Hello. My name is David Rabowski, and what I've included in your bags are my original Coachella Heat cookies, which Julie knows. I've been giving them to her for over a year, almost 2 years now. And then also I have a gluten-free one that I didn't know that you had to put on the piece of paper, but I thought it came under cookies, but so I have the gluten-free, and then I started out trying to make a vegan, but then I didn't want to remove the white chocolate out of the cookie, so it's a vegetarian cookie, but it has no egg products in it, and it has no no dairy. I mean, no egg products and
Gluten?
I just drew a blank here.
That's all right, no dairy.
Yes. Thank you. So those are my 3 cookies. I put a little sample in so that you wouldn't have to open the packets. You could take them home. They haven't been frozen, so you can freeze them and eat them at your will. That's my original one. I would like to offer the gluten-free in my booth, but the vegetarian one, I would like to offer both of them, but it starts to get really complicated because the recipes are so diverse and it can get overwhelming, making them. And then also the cookies that I don't sell, I dispose of. I don't.
You donate them to the well.
Yeah, donate them someplace because they have to go. I normally just give them away at the end of the day when I'm selling them because I want to keep my quality control there.
So I'm going to give you a little story. I met David a year ago. He had this amazing idea of these cookies, and I said, "My Black Beauty, you need to go for it." So he started, and these cookies have such an a bite of chili that is amazing, that I started giving them out in my store. And the people were coming in like, "Do you have any of those cookies today?" It's like, "No, you need to go in there and buy it, and then you can have a cookie." And they come in for cookies, and they wait for his cookies. So I have to tell you that he's creating a dream that he started how many years now?
Well, when I first moved to Palm Springs in June of 2016, I came here under duress. I got booted out of my place in West Hollywood. A developer bought it and just kind of upset my world after living there for 23 years.
Wow.
And they put the eviction notice on my door 4 days before my 62nd birthday, which is the divide for being a senior. So I only got $10,000 and my neighbor got $50,000. So I ended up here and I was angry and frightened and all of that. And then things just started to kind of unfold for me. And the cookies were a way for me to participate in the holiday spirit and make friends. So I've given out those packets of double cookies. I've given out over 2,000 of them over the last 3 years.
See, you were meant to be here.
I think so.
Yeah,
I believe that.
This is
So you
their.
didn't get booted.
Yeah, I
Are you
believe that.
planning to just sell them as the little duos or other configurations like baskets, bags, boxes?
I'm not opposed to selling, a half dozen or a dozen. I've already thought about how to package those, but there will always be 2 cookies in a pack. I want to brand myself that way. Also, I think that most people, when they eat my cookies, and that includes me, after you finish the one cookie, that lingering heat and sweet, you just kind of want another one. And 2 cookies kind of works out perfectly for that.
So you're
Not
pushing.
calorie-wise.
Well, my friend Tito calls them crack cookies.
You have to watch back there because they do grow on you.
But you can freeze them, and so, yeah.
Or they'll walk back to your booth and buy more.
God willing, and the creek don't rise.
What's the price point on 2 cookies?
$6.
And they're big cookies too.
They're huge, yeah.
That's a big cookie.
And I
I love the packaging too. You did a great job on this.
thank you. I've been around town and talked to a few places about carrying my cookies, and I haven't been able to meet a price point because I don't want to change my ingredients. I didn't want to use imitation vanilla, which, it's $30 right now for me, it's $30 for 16 ounces. Whereas imitation vanilla, you can get 32 ounces for like $6, but it changes my cookie. I don't want to use a less expensive white chocolate. I use Gordelli white chocolate. It's a good white chocolate. The other ones seem to taste waxy to me.
Yep.
And so I'm just going to just trust in the universe and follow this. It's a blessing for me.
You created your dream and you're ready to set out and make money at your dream. And entrepreneur you.
I would love that.
What's the heat, is that?
It's a chili blend, and I'll tell you a quick little story. All this just happened. I didn't think, well, I want to come up with something to survive in Palm Springs or what like that. I offered to make a dinner dish for my friend Tommy, and I asked him what he wanted me to make because I enjoy cooking, and he said Texas chili. So I went on the internet to figure out the Texas chili recipe. Well, it's all about the chilies. It's a chili blend that you make. And so I had some left over that I put in the refrigerator, and why that night I got up and decided to add it to the cookies, I don't know. I just did. And it was too hot, but then I toned it down, and so the third time I got it to where I think it's a nice, comfortable, because I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to heat.
Yeah, there's a bite, but it doesn't take away from that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. Anybody else have any questions? No? Okay, I need a motion.
I move we accept this vendor.
I second.
I'm
Okay,
so
we have
happy.
any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll see you on the street.
We'll see you on
See you on the streets. Thank you.
David, everything was meant to be.
My mother used to say there are no mistakes in the universe.
Absolutely, there's always
Thanks
a
for the
reason.
cookies too.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay.
The next one is not an edible vendor.
Oh, no, I don't think we have anymore.
Love you anyways.
That's Karen.
Concrete?
Okay, Richard Hollenbeck in Concrete Detail, Arts and Crafts. Is he here?
No.
No?
Oh my gosh, you said that video.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
the video was so good, okay, all right, come back another time, yeah. All right, the other one is accessory,
Alchemy?
Alchemy, Alexandria?
Hello.
Hi. I'll give you a chance to set up, okay, and then you can talk.
In the meantime, to round out my application, I'm passing to Faith a updated list of my inventory, additional photos of me making my jewelry, and I've updated my banner design, so if you need to see that, I included it as well.
Yay.
I'm gonna start these over here and you just grab them as you like. I have the trays numbered to coincide with the list of my inventory. I know jewelry vendors are hard. Okay, so here we go. Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Allie Krajewski. I live in Long Beach currently. Grew up in Los Angeles, Long Beach area, basically. I have been making jewelry for longer than I could thread a needle, because my mom used to have to do that for me. But marketing my brand as Accessory Alchemy for the last 5 years, maybe 5.5 years. I do this as a side business to my full-time job. Love it. I do art shows all around Southern California, out to Ventura, to Carlsbad, and this show was recommended to me by another jewelry vendor that currently does it, and I thought I would give it a try. Yeah, so I have the trays to explain what you're looking at, and by watching these previous board meetings and reading the rules and regulations, tray number 1 is sort of, they're broken up by tray into the similar styles or similarly made objects. Yes.
So, do you make this, or do you make this?
For the whole resin tray, I buy the empty bezel, and I arrange those little watch gears in there and then cover them in a liquid resin that hardens to a clear, hard resin.
Yeah, it's not just the top.
And what about, excuse me, say tray 4?
Tray 4, which Daryl is looking at, are paper images that they're free domain images that I've downloaded from the internet, and I put them into Photoshop. I arrange them. They're famous, like, nautical images from Ernst Haeckel or Art Nouveau images from Alphonse Mucha, old images of clocks, and I tweak them a little bit in Photoshop and Lightroom and make them better fit for a round bezel, and I print them out and put them under a glass dome, so just glue them in there. That's the tray that Daryl's looking at.
So sorry for having side comments here too.
Yeah, that's fine.
So like a piece like this, so you've taken these, this is my understanding of it, let me know if I'm correct. So you're taking the parts, like in a piece like this, you are applying them into that, and then you are covering that with some sort of a resin?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was a prefabricated pillbox.
The pillbox is prefabricated,
But
many of the bezels that I use are
But this resin,
prefabricated.
you're not pouring that resin in the
Yeah.
cap.
I'm
Yeah,
pouring
she's
that
pouring
in.
the resin, really.
Yeah.
And so in these here, I don't wanna confuse the two, the different, here's this one. I think that was there too. So in these, it appears that what I'm seeing in the photographs over here is that you're taking these that you have printed from wherever, and you are, you're cutting them out, you're applying it to here, and then you are covering these with resin.
Incorrect. That is a glass dome that's
Okay.
preformed that I glue on top of the paper image.
Okay, so, and all the paper images are a glass dome on it?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you get the resin so smooth?
Practice.
Do you have to sand it?
These are
No,
glass.
no. The way it will dry with a nice smooth surface. So if I get it right and it's not unlevel, then I can get away without sanding it.
So tray 4 is you're printing, assembling from parts that you purchased, correct?
Yes.
And what about your fasteners?
Yes. Okay. I'll pass these around. The way these are made is this is the piece that I buy. It's a hat blank. It's not even a hat yet. And I attach everything to it. The clips to hold it in the hair, the band. Lately I've been doing some spray painting with some gears. And I have 2 styles of that. This is more of a steampunk style, like what I'm wearing, and kind of a holiday fascinator that I bring out during the holidays. I'll pass those along too. All of my watch parts that I use are taken out of old watches and pocket watches. Never anything working.
Do you have a picture here of you doing?
Yes, there should be a photo in there of me, and I just added 2 additional to Faith of me making some of the items.
With your face?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So your watch parts you take apart yourself? Is that
Yes.
Okay, so that's I would let the board know that you.
Yeah. For the watch parts for the resin, I do disassemble those out of the old broken watches and pocket watches. Most of them are actual watch pieces. I do use reproduction gears in some of them, but they're still set under the resin.
These you do not make, right? You just
That is correct.
decorate them, okay, but these you purchase.
Yes.
And the only category they would fall into is
Arts and crafts.
arts and crafts.
You know, I also wanna sell cookies.
Baked cookies, didn't we once have somebody that did the hats?
That did what?
Yeah, that were not approved, but yes.
I know.
But like, so but this one, she does spray paint on it and things like that, so she spray paints the gears as well?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a
So
little more
there's a
to
little
it.
bit more work to it.
Right, not now, this one, I don't, I think this one is not, but this one would be yes, like more.
Yeah, the more detailed work
Yes.
is what is needed.
So, some of these, like with this, the metal of the chain exactly matches the metal with these other things, so I imagine these are purchased from somewhere, right, these pieces?
They are.
And is this purchase already assembled like this,
No,
and then
no.
you just
I
fisting
buy
it
the
with the
chain,
beads?
100 meters at a
Oh,
time.
gotcha, okay.
And then
Yeah.
And then the
like,
charms are purchased?
Charms are purchased separately. I attach everything with the jump rings.
I think, according to Joy, I think Joy, can you make a comment on this? I think we have some. You're good at that, but I think there's some things
Well,
that
there's
are
some-
approvable and some
yeah.
things that
I
aren't.
mean, we've had jewelry very similar to this. The ones that we usually don't approve is a chain with maybe one thing hanging off of it, okay? It doesn't have enough creativity.
75%.
But a lot of it,
75%
yeah,
handmade.
yeah. But a lot of those, we've approved other vendors that have similar. That's going through which ones.
Yeah, I mean, it's a super complicated process here, because obviously you have a very specific style, and it's definitely themed in a specific way, but in order for it to fit within the rules and regulations of being 75% handcrafted, it is a super fine line right there, and to not have things that are assembled. So there definitely are some things here that would not be able to be sold, in my opinion, and there are some things here that would be.
Yeah.
I'm
But how do
seeing
you
a
separate
mixed bag
that?
of
Yeah.
assembly versus
Yeah, this is
making.
what I tried to do by breaking it up into different trays. All of my resin work is in tray 1, so I don't know if it's easier to batch approve.
So tray 1 seemed to make a lot of sense.
Right.
In my opinion, tray 1 made a lot of sense with the
Pass that by us
resin,
again.
because you could see where she is,
Can you just
cutting out the
Can you lift it
pieces.
towards us again and show that, we know tray 1,
Tray
tray
1 is
2.
there. Tray 2 is
see everything.
some pocket watch necklaces, a lot of beadwork in the chain and metalworking. I think this
Like,
whole
how
thing
about this?
counts
It's
as
just
tray
one
2.
thing hanging on the chain.
Oh, what is it? I can't see it, I'm sorry.
There's resin and watch gears in the face of that locket.
So
There's
she-
also a die
So do you do the face on this?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So that one is all her resin work, and it seems like the resin work
The
would
resin work is
fit
very
under
good.
the rules
Yes,
and
that's
regulations.
individual, unique,
Okay,
really
so
good.
tray number 2,
Tray
what
number
sort of
2.
jewelry is in there?
Yes, I'll pass this around
Okay,
again. This is the beads in the chain with the pocket watches. I've got beads and crystals glued into some bezels here.
So she's doing that work, adding the beads to the chain, it's the same
Right.
chain as you
It's
see
all-
everywhere else, but she's added beads to it. So to me, that,
I'll pick out
Yeah,
what
is that
we do.
this is
75%?
very smart, yeah.
Thank you.
For-
I watched some previous board meetings
Oh,
yesterday.
Yeah, sorry about that. So, okay, so, I mean, to me, those.
One makes
Go
sense.
tray 3.
I don't have tray 3.
She has 3.
She has 3.
3, not so much.
3 is what I would consider maybe borderline, or what I assume you would consider borderline. It is more assembly. It's not a lot of work.
Yeah, see, this is, it's pretty creative. This is good.
Which tray number is that?
Oh, it's 2.
Yeah, so 1 and 2 seem like
1
they're
and
good.
2, I think everything on it.
3, I think we said is
Pretty good.
very much assembly rate, so that's
Right.
not.
Which one, 3?
Yeah.
Assembly, you know, well, this is assembly, but it's cool, creative. You know, different
Yeah,
looks.
but that was just the bead, Yeah, so,
As you can
so
see
tray
why.
3, cute though.
That's gorgeous.
Right?
I love it.
I'm just been shopping over there.
Just shop at the back of her truck.
I have to tell you, everything you do is beautiful.
Thank you.
There are certain things that, we have to comply with because of passports.
So is this something that you purchased already done, this entire charm?
No.
Oh, so
They
you.
Put that together?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, so this is good. This is
So
good.
tray 1 and 2,
One
and
and two,
I
good.
think, you know what, Dottie, I think that the thing is, she really understands what we're looking for, and that's why she has these trays separated.
Yeah.
Like, this style's good, this style's good, this style doesn't really fit. So I really appreciate you understanding that, cause it's hard for us too to try to define it
Yeah.
really.
And the fascinators, because, yeah, I'm having a real hard time with the fascinators, even though I think they're seasonally, there's artistic quality, they're adorable, but as far as the guidelines set before us is a challenge.
Yeah.
Can I say one thing about them though? So on one of them, you have painted it, you have used the hat
Right.
as a canvas itself.
Then, yeah.
If they all had some amount of painting to it,
So you have to be
I
a little
would
bit more
think
creative.
then, well, yeah, I mean, they're super
Yeah,
creative
yeah.
as they are,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's that painting to it that is not actually assembling, but in fact putting art on.
Right.
It's a canvas.
Yeah.
Or if you were to actually make the adornments that you put on them, as opposed to buying them at Michael's or some feathers at Michael's and just gluing it on, but if you actually make the adornment, if you were doing glass blowing, you made glass beads and you glue glass beads on it, right? Well, they're your beads that you made, so that actually constitutes that you did actually make a lot of what it is, as opposed to taking other components. So it doesn't only have to be painted, just, Troy, I just didn't want to get that specific, but
Yeah.
I do agree with you that something like that, where you've actually created something and used it as a canvas.
It needs to be a canvas and not an assembly process.
Okay.
So
So
we can
if I
just
had-
use more.
If I had more like this with the painted, would this qualify?
Yes.
Under-
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Painted, or if you had the one that's on your head, if, because of the watch parts, if they were under the,
Yeah.
the acrylic
Yeah.
in clear, so that you've made them, and then you've applied them, that's absolutely in my comfort zone.
Okay.
So then it would be very unique to you, even though it's a watch part, and you have that watch part, but no one else has it done under resin the way you did, because that's your creation.
Right.
So it's really about creating it, that's the idea here.
Just embellishing it a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I was
With your
also thinking
creativity,
about,
because it's very good.
yeah, like arranging the watch and hand clocks to
Yeah.
look like little bugs or flowers or
Yeah.
something like that.
Did everybody get a good look at the other trays? Is everything on
So
the
how are
other
we
trays?
gonna approve some?
1 and 2, I'm comfortable on. 3, I'm on the fence post. 4
Oh,
to,
right.
yeah.
Wait, what pass goes around? There might be one or two
It
options.
was tray number 3 coming around one more time.
Okay.
Number 3 not.
Um,
What is that one right there?
This is number 4. This is with the paper
I'm
images
gonna make a suggestion.
under
I don't
glass.
know how
Hold on,
to-
we got,
I have a suggestion to make to the board. If since Ally understands the concept so well and gets it, right, I mean, we're all saying that, right, she gets that. How do we feel about her understanding the rules and
this is all
understanding that you need to follow them, because if you didn't, that would be in violation of your permit for the booth,
Yeah.
and us leaving it up to her discretion, understanding the criteria.
Can we give her guidelines like this
Yes,
tray, this
absolutely.
tray, this tray?
Yeah, well, definitely 1 and 2, we said are
I have, I
good.
think this is one better, how about bringing her back?
Well, this is tray number
Bringing her back,
4.
showing the trays that she's gonna sell.
Tray number 3 is
Did you
not,
see all that?
tray number 3 is not. It's
No.
just-
No,
Okay, so
that
that's,
was
I'm leaning
a
in that
consensus.
direction.
I want you to take a look at tray number 4.
I like this tray.
Okay.
She's
1
got
and 2 are
paperwork
yes.
in there.
And I think this is resin work.
She's made,
Yeah, the resin.
So you actually did all this resin work on this.
Tray 4 is not resin, it's glass,
So it's
special
just-
glass
it's
films
just
glued
glass
under.
film glued.
Yes, and the work there that you can't see is the work that I've done in Photoshop and Lightroom to get those images from there.
I don't have a problem
I
with
like that tray
tray.
too.
So I think that 1 and 2, and this is what, 4?
4.
I don't have a
3 is the
problem
one
with
that's really out, because
Yeah.
that's.
Why don't you just have her come back and bring the products that she's going to sell at
No,
the booth
I
or
don't-
separate them here?
No, we don't.
Well, that's why there's the different trays.
But you're still confusing 3 and 4 on some of the
well,
items.
She's got
No, I'm
got
not
them
good with 4.
separated.
3 I'm not, and 4 I'm all good with, but
Yeah.
anybody
I'm
else?
clear that 3 is,
Anybody not good with 4?
no.
Yes, that.
No, I think 4 is pretty good.
So far we're on 1, 2, and 4.
Okay, and this type of
And
path.
the fascinators,
Right.
and again, we'll have to leave
Right.
that to your judgment to ensure that you're embellishing them with something that's your own creative product, not just gluing things on them, okay?
And then you have 5
Great.
trays, there's one more tray.
Yes, there is one more tray. This red tray is an interesting classification that I'm going to bring before the board. This is, I would definitely consider assembled jewelry, but all of the elements are vintage or antique. They're directly out of old
Is that the one with the
watches or clocks.
Yeah, no.
It's beautiful though.
It is beautiful.
I
Very
have
nice.
to tell you, you know, I mean, because of our guidelines, it's important for the street fair. But if you went to any other, like COD, any of this would be great, so,
But we want you here.
well, we want you on the street. Because we've had this type of jewelry before, I think. They,
You had that piece of
yes,
watch.
yeah, I should have worn one that I bought in the street. The jewelry that was similar to this, I know one of them is no longer there, but is the other gal still there?
We don't have any.
Okay,
We don't have any staple.
well, these were
That's a
very
shame.
popular.
Yeah.
This, yeah,
And the booth did well.
yeah, okay,
So 1, 2, and 4?
yeah.
Just pick out 3 and 5, and again,
Fascinators that are.
follow the direction on the fascinator, and I think you'll, personally, I think you'll
Absolutely.
be fine. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
About 6 weeks.
Oh, I think you got it.
Yeah.
You did it.
Thank you for separating them out like
Yeah,
that.
that was
I
good.
know.
A lot easier.
There's a last minute,
Because jewelry's always a challenge.
always
Yeah, really. Can you imagine what this would have been if you didn't?
You would be taking out.
One piece
Yeah.
here, one here, yes.
Well, I think we can thank Faith
Yeah.
for explaining it to her.
Thank you.
I know she
But it's a
did.
really nice, really
Okay.
cool thing out there.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any more questions? But I love your work.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, I need a motion.
I make a motion that we accept this vendor based on the exclusion of tray 3 and 5, and also based on the direction given on the fascinators that she will be able to exclude.
I second this.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, board.
Have fun downtown.
Lord or Lord, I don't know.
Was that thank you, Lord?
And I'll never forget
I
who she is,
don't
because she'll be the
know.
only one wearing a little
Wait,
steampunk
thank
hat.
you.
Exactly. So I'll go,
Well,
oh,
we
that's
had
her.
them before, but it was that one vendor.
Hers was assembled, yes. Well, she put them out on the street and
Well, she put them out without.
Patrick Kelly?
May I ask a follow-up question? Sure. Because I'm always sort of creating new pieces that are similar in style, but like always look a little bit different if I find interesting bezels. If I create a new piece that's would still fall under the category of tray 1, do I need to get it approved, or may I just add it to my list under the guidelines?
And with that understanding, I'm
Great.
sure that it'll be fine, because you get it.
Patrick
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Now, if you decided to do boots or, caftans that have, things on it, that's a whole different product from any of this, and you'd have to come back.
Anything different, yeah.
you can always ask.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was gonna say,
thank
if you-
you.
if you're hesitant, just send a picture to Faith, and she can determine whether it needs to come back before the board, or if you're okay to sell them on the street.
When in doubt, call on your favor.
Thank
I
you,
do.
Alexander.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful work,
Beautiful.
beautiful work. Okay,
Very nice.
next one, Patrick Kelly Studios. Patrick?
Hello.
Hello. How are you? And
I'm
you're
good,
from-
how are you?
And you're from Morongo Valley?
I live in Morongo Valley. 10 years ago, I lived in Palm Springs.
Okay,
I now live in Morongo Valley.
okay, I'll let you
I'm
sit up.
an industrial designer and an artist, and what I like
Please
to...
speak into the mic, sir, because this is
Yeah.
filmed, right?
Hold on to it.
I'm an industrial designer and an artist, and I like to display and hopefully sell my artwork at the street fair. I'm sorry. So I have some samples here.
Oh, wow, it's gorgeous.
Can I ask you, approximately how much time does it make you to craft a
Well,
photorealistic
depending on
painting
what
like
it
that?
is, it has ability in it. I'm sorry. If it has a building in it, it has to look like a building.
Yeah.
Things like this, I can get away with almost.
With
This
what?
Palm Canyon.
Yeah.
With this kind of painting, you can play with it, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah,
It
so
doesn't
that
have to
takes
look
you
like,
outside.
it doesn't have to look like a
The
building,
detail of it.
that everybody knows.
Yeah.
So, these are
The
some-
reason I'm asking honestly is only because I was just wondering about the price point and if that's considered in the amount of time served.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, there is, because, let's see, I guess the one at Morongo Valley, is that the one you have?
Yeah.
That one took a long time, so that's where the price break is.
I shop at this store.
Yeah, I just
Do
lived
you
there.
really?
I was just
I
down
used
the
to
hill
get my
from where I
drive
live.
through to McDonald's, now I get it at the.
So I brought some examples. If you want.
Yeah, we wanna pass them, yeah.
Pass
yeah,
them around,
pass
just
it
bring
over.
it I do a lot of,
Is this?
I enjoy doing cityscapes, but
Not
I also
acrylic,
do
right?
landscapes.
Is this oil?
They're acrylic.
This is beautiful. It's so good, it looks like a picture. I mean, a snapshot, doesn't it?
Question.
Yeah, he's almost from the village.
Yeah.
Close.
I'm not seeing in the file a setup of what your booth is gonna look like.
I have it here.
Ah, sweet.
I was always asked to bring a photograph of me in working,
Oh, yeah, that's what we
so I
want.
have that.
Good.
And the painting, you know, actually, I like to have this one back, so I don't have to.
No, it's supposed to be from Chris. As you can see, a person.
That's the tower.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
Oh, okay.
Where are you selling them now?
Nowhere.
Privately or?
Nowhere right now. No, nowhere right now. I had some health problems a few years ago. I was blind in one eye, and I didn't work for a couple of years. And I was in, do you know Alamode?
Yeah.
I was in there for a while, but no, I'm not there anymore.
Okay.
This is one I'm working on now, so you can sort of see kind of what goes on.
Okay. I like the format of your booth, by the way, first.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, they can be arranged different ways.
Yeah.
They're 4-foot panels.
Anybody have any questions? No? All right. Somebody make a motion?
Wait, you know what, I do have one question. It's not really a
Okay.
question, because since he very specifically listed the name of each painting, clearly he's gonna be doing more paintings, and they're not gonna be on this list. So I don't think that matters, or
No.
should this just say?
Paintings on campus.
Yeah.
Paintings on canvas, so are you
Yeah.
gonna change that, or should we just leave it like this, and just consider it paintings on canvas?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Are you planning to be there year round?
No, I just asked to be on call, whatever that's.
Oh, on call, okay.
Standby, sorry.
Standby.
Stand by, okay.
And will they only be originals, or will you
No,
be
just
selling?
original. Just
Okay.
original.
Beautiful work.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? No?
Motion to approve the standard.
Second that motion.
All in favor? All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed, anyone?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Very
work.
nice, Patrick.
Thank you.
And I imagine that you regained sight in your other eye, in order to, and you
Eric
have
Smith?
regained the sight in your other eye?
You're next.
Yeah, I'm
So you're
fine.
blind in one eye,
I
so
certainly, you
because
can
of
see
that.
the scar right up here.
Ah.
So I'm okay with that.
That's wonderful that they're, that
Yeah,
they're able to do that.
The only thing is the color's slightly off, which is.
Really?
Yeah, weird.
So you see colors differently in your two different eyes, or you just?
Slightly, yeah. It's not, the color I see is not as strong like it used to be, so. it's
Beats the
still hard to
alternative
read.
though, doesn't it?
Hmm?
Beats the alternative.
Oh, tell me.
All right, thank you,
All right.
thank you very much.
Very
There's
nice.
one photograph I'd like to have back, if possible, because it's the only one.
Okay.
I can send you a copy of it, the one that we painted.
No, I think
Okay,
I guess I'm right.
You're fine, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next one, Eric Smith Music. Eric?
Eric's gonna serenade us now.
I'm gonna do it real quick, but I will.
Okay.
It mind if I sit down?
No,
Not at all.
come over, yeah, and then take
You have
the
to be near the
microphone.
I'll move the mic. I didn't bring any food.
That's okay, we have.
Oh, thanks for stopping by.
Don't worry about it.
We have enough.
Don't worry.
My husband's really good for that. I have a bag in my handbag. I got a bag. Is there talent back there? I'll drop that. Okay, go ahead.
This will be short,
Okay.
so I have another gig to go to. I'm relatively new to the Palm Springs area. I'm certainly not unfamiliar with it. I've been coming out here for years, but I just recently retired from my business and moved to Palm Springs after I sold my house. And I've always liked the VillageFest. I've been going there for years, and I might just want to participate in that if you'll have me. I'm a 12-string guitar player. I have several guitars. I do all kinds of different types of music, contemporary, blues, or whatever. And I'm just going to do one song for you. If you want to, I'll do two. If you want 20, I'll do those. You've all heard of Jimmy Buffett before?
I think so.
Huh? Living on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of those cherries covered with oil, strumming my 12-string on my front porch swing, smelling the shrimp that beginning to boil, wasting away opinions on the reader, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that I'm a one to blame, but I know there's nobody's fault. Don't know the reason I stayed here all season. Nothing to show but this brand new tattoo. But it's a real cutie, a Mexican cutie. How it got here I haven't a clue. Wasting away in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker of salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own fault. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own fault.
Very good.
I'll do one more real quick.
Have
Is
you
that all right with you?
performed at what's it called? What's
Here.
the place that had the clothing store that has the restaurant now in front of it?
Downtown?
Yeah.
Have you performed anywhere downtown?
No. Where I used to live, I was performing all the time, but
Oh, yeah.
this is my way of getting into the Palm Springs
You mean Tommy Bahamas?
type of stuff.
Oh.
So, you know, it's again, I've only been out here for 4 months, and I really haven't had time to really.
There's a big music scene here in town, not just in Palm Springs, but all over the valley.
No, there's, yeah, I've noticed that quite a bit, and I'm just getting settled in and all that, so, yeah, I'm gonna be really looking at it, so. Heading out to San Francisco for the Labor Day weekend show. I got my hush puppies on, I guess I never summer was heading for winter rock and roll. And honey, I didn't know that I'd be missing you so come Monday. It'll be alright come Monday. I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze. I just want you back by my side. Yes, it's been quite a summer. Rented cars and westbound trains. And now you're off on vacation. Something you tried to explain. But I'm waiting right here until then. I wanna see you again come Monday. It'll be alright come Monday. I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze. I just want you back by my side. I can't help it, honey, if that was your part of me now. Remember that night in my bed, I said there'd be no room for that. I hope you're enjoying the scenery. I know that it's pretty up there. We can go hiking on Tuesday. With you I walk anywhere. But I'm waiting for you until then. I wanna see you again come Monday. It'll be alright come Monday. I'll be holding you tight. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze. I just want you back by my side. I spent 4 lonely days in a brown LA haze. I just want you back by my side.
So are you married?
Lots
Be
of girls in
careful.
town.
Okay, all right.
Be very careful of this one.
All right,
A lot
quite
of girls will
frankly,
love you.
I'm widowed.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah, 6 years ago. And I've since met somebody else, and she's out here with me now.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, I feel fortunate that way, but,
Okay,
yeah.
Julie, hands off.
So,
I met there's a lot of women that love this music.
yeah, you know, we did really well before, you know, when I was living in the Thousand Oaks, Oak Park area in Ventura County. We did pretty well there, so.
Now, will you be offering any tapes or anything like that, or is it just you performing?
It's just, basically, it's been me performing. My daughter's very, very talented, and she does a lot of off-Broadway stuff. And she still lives out in Woodland Hills, out in the Oak Park area. But her and I did a couple of CDs, and back and forth stuff, you know, she'd do a verse, I'd do a verse. We did Let It Be by the Beatles, and everybody loved it. They really
Are you
did.
planning to offer those in your,
I can offer those, yeah, I can. The stuff I've always recorded was with my daughter. Every Father's Day for sure, she would have me come over, and her husband's in the music business, and he has his own recording stuff. So.
All right, we've got to move on.
Yeah,
We're just double
I
checking
appreciate
something,
taking the
because I
time.
don't recall seeing the CDs listed for
It's
sale.
not listed.
No, it's not listed. Are you going to do you want to do CDs or?
Yeah, I'll probably start doing.
Because it would have to be listed here with the
Well,
price point.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
They'll just add it. Staff will just add it.
So.
So if you want to
Need to
do.
be clear up front what's,
Okay.
yeah.
Anybody else have any more questions? No, I need a motion.
I make a motion that we approve Elvis here.
I second.
Okay, we don't need to discuss this. Very good.
Well,
Very
I
good.
appreciate
All right,
it.
all
Thank
those
you
in
very much.
favor?
Okay,
Aye.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
See you on the street.
There you go.
A little less spirited every time.
It's getting later, it's been a long day.
Well, you have to eat.
And all the fruit is kicking in.
Christina.
Do we have a coffee vendor by?
No? Okay, all right.
Orange.
So we
You're
don't
next
have
then.
Admiral
Well,
Design.
there's nobody else.
Yes,
so
there's
I'm
no one
still-
left,
That's
so.
me, and I don't know if whether to be
Oh,
worried or
okay,
to be
you
thankful that
are
everybody will be
Alma?
happy.
Are you Alma?
Yes, I am.
Alma, come on. Welcome. You're
Thank
commercial
you.
downtown merchant. Okay, tell us about yourself.
So I have a PhD in nutrition. I'm a personal trainer too, and I own the franchise rights to Orange Theory Fitness. It's a franchise out of Florida, and I am opening a second location. The first one is on El Paseo in Palm Desert, and the next one is on South Palm Canyon and Bristow. And we have 4 weeks until we open. So I'm on a mission to try to get as many people to know that we're opening there. And so my purpose of being at the VillageFest is basically just knowledge. Letting people know that we're there and what we're all about. And so it will be basically just handing out, for people who come into our booth, again, we don't really plan to do any walking around, is just telling them what Orange Theory Fitness is, what makes us different, flyers, the people that will be at the VillageFest will be either me or some of the coaches, the trainers who work at Orange Theory, and perhaps a sales associate. The one thing that I didn't include, but I can definitely get a picture of, is one of the equipment that we have is a water rower, and I have bought one for just demo. And so the idea will be to bring the water rower in within the canopy and just have one of my trainers
What does that
row.
look like? What is
It's a water rower.
It's like a rower.
Yes, except it's propelled by your own resistance. Hold on.
Just kind of want to see the size of it.
Whoops.
Do you have a third grader in your life
Why?
that has a Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes, I sure
Are
do.
you looking for her card?
Oh, I probably should. I have a third grader, an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old.
No, I'm not your stalker. That's next week.
Yes.
But you'll be based, you're not gonna be out working you're not gonna be out on the pavement, that's not for sure, you're gonna work from the booth, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
How big is that rower? It's pretty big.
That's huge.
It's about this. It's actually pretty easy to move.
Fit inside of a booth?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm asking, is that okay?
Is it the one with the water in it?
Yes.
Okay, so what it is it looks like a little boat and
Here's a
you're like,
picture
you're
of it.
rowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna have people do it, you're gonna have somebody else demonstrate.
Yeah.
Or would you have people do it?
Well, you know,
Well, that's the thing, is that would matter. That's what we're asking.
I don't know, would we be allowed to have people do it?
Would there be a liability issue?
it could be a liability.
Yeah, I think you ought to just demonstrate.
Yeah. And you know, actually, a lot of people are not familiar with a water rower, so for us, it would be a point of attention. Is like, what is that orange thing that someone is just rowing?
I wouldn't have anybody in the public
Yeah.
use it.
So it can just be us or the coaches.
And will you be selling memberships or?
No, not there. No. What we would do though is offer them a free class if they wanted to. So we do have these, and I think these are Palm Desert. They're just cards. It's like, here's our phone number, this is where we're located. If you're interested in taking a free class, come and see us there.
So what
Yes.
building are you in?
What was that?
What
Next to
building are you
Belmont.
in?
Next to Belmont.
Yes, finally, someone is moving into that building. Yes.
That's a good location.
Yes.
Is there a problem with her getting rid of the water at the end of the day?
No. It's self-contained. It doesn't need to be drained.
Okay.
No.
It's a resistance.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, anybody have any questions?
Great idea.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, I definitely came in the right order. The food, the music, the serenade. I'm like,
Now we have to burn it off.
yes, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
the food. Look at this, my husband.
I know.
I can't do anything.
Motion to approve this vendor?
Okay.
I second.
No, anybody else? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Opposed, none.
Thank you.
Okay. Have fun down there.
I sure will.
Okay. Okay.
I have to leave, I'm sorry. I have to be at the convention
I have
center
to
and
too.
set up a booth by 5:30.
I do too.
Thank you for being here.
All right,
Yeah, 11 minutes.
bye
Yeah.
girls.
We believe in you.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, your cookies are down there. These are mine. Here, what a nice meeting. Thanks, gals and guys.
All right, do we have any new business?
Definitely, I will. Thank you.
Come in, say hi.
The VillageFest poster contest.
Okay, bye-bye, I gotta go too.
So
right,
our timeline
I'm
for
sorry.
the VillageFest poster contest is fast approaching.
Thank you for your time.
So the timeline that we
Bye-bye,
put
thank you.
together with the, in the last year was to start engaging some of our artists at VillageFest in mid-October. So Faith and I thought it would be a good time to bring it up, see if we could get some board members engaged in that process so that we can get some flyers together, maybe pick some dates when we wanna go out and start having conversations with some of our artists on the street about the 2020 poster contest.
When do you want us to do that?
Well, I'd like to see if we could get maybe a subcommittee together for this.
Can you explain what it is, cause I feel like I just walked into another conversation. Is it,
So
so is it
we
poster
haven't-
competition?
We have an annual poster that is designed by one of our artists on the streets. Typically we have a committee that will go out, they'll talk to board members, get them engaged in the process of applying, and so they'll submit some artwork. The board will, the subcommittee will review it, they'll make some determinations and present it to the board, and the board will make an ultimate decision of who is the kind of poster contest winner for the year, and then we print the poster. We use it for awards at various organizations that the Village Fest belongs to, nationwide as well as in the state of California. And then we distribute it to the locals in businesses and also at various trade shows that we get
So
involved in.
it's not sold at the Village Fest?
Mm-mm.
And
We
the-
give them out at a lot of venues that
Right.
we do.
And so the poster is supposed to just create awareness to people,
Exactly.
okay, got it.
Yeah, is there anybody interested in being on a subcommittee for this? Come on, guys.
I mean, I could. if you-
We should put Julie on it. She actually goes to Village Fest quite a bit, so we give her some.
Okay.
All right, we'll put her on it. And
Yeah,
you wanna be on it?
Mm,
No? Okay. Anybody else? I can't walk the street right now.
So who is it? Are you going to be able to say it?
I don't think so, not right, not this time.
Come on,
And you just need us to talk to artists and
Yeah, you
solicit?
just walk the street, you know, who could do?
I'm already walking the streets checking for permits once a month, so yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or I can do both committees.
So we'll put together like a
Thank you,
flyer
Carol.
saying,
Yeah.
now it's 2020, post, so we'll ask that you kind of just, as you're walking up the street, you see an artist where, you think their artwork could probably work, or they could use.
So I can put my tin badge on my pallet board or my cup, yeah, okay.
And pass them out, and it'll have all the information on the flyer.
Okay.
Just trying to get some more
Sweet.
involvement.
Okay. Okay, any new business? None. Reports and requests, public none, board? No? Board comments?
Not at this time.
No? Subcommittee reports? Compliance, here we go with the compliance.
It's a standard, there doesn't necessarily need to be a report
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
We just leave it on there so that if
No.
there is a report, we have a space to have a
Right.
conversation
And we
about
went
it.
over the compliance thing at the retreat, so we kinda know, if you're downtown,
Right.
walk it and,
Send pictures.
yeah, and just, and I think we mentioned it before, when we are doing that, to be polite to the people that you're looking at in the, don't make them feel like we're harassing them. And I think if there's really a problem, to turn it over to staff on the street, so you don't have to get verbally.
Right.
But you can still wear a monocle.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
alright, now we're back in business.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask them questions.
We don't wanna
you can-
take away your
Or
fun.
you can do it anonymously, or you can introduce, I do it two different
It's
ways.
cooling off, I was gonna wear my leather, get my tin badge.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Is there,
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up in a minute.
is there any merit to us considering what Julie was talking about before, that she said something about that, we used to have a second table, so that the next person that's coming up could
Yeah.
start setting up while the person's.
Well, it worked out fine today.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we requested that table for food vendors.
Yeah, well,
We're
Julie,
gonna put this stuff
Julie
in,
thought we
so
should have had
we'll
two,
just put it up.
two tables today, but we really didn't need it.
We don't usually have this.
And we don't have this many
No,
food vendors.
it's really because we're coming back after the summer.
Right.
break.
Yeah, yeah.
We got backed up.
I do have a question really about the arugula guy.
At the next meeting.
Next meeting, okay.
Okay.
What's that?
Just wonder, have we reached out to him yet, or is that to be TBD?
Oh no, I spoke with him last week.
Okay.
So he'll submit a new application and the information very similar to what you receive here as part of your current rules and regulations. We have the ability to ask vendors, and that's part of that process.
Okay.
And is it because he's presenting an item that he hasn't?
What are we talking about right now?
The arugula guy.
Oh, okay, okay.
What's rude?
He's rude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah,
received
yeah.
we received a formal
I
complaint.
remember this now,
We
okay,
received
sorry,
a number of
my
formal
bad, I
complaints.
just didn't pay attention.
How many times have you talked to him?
We will bring his application. He's had one verbal warning from myself because we received a formal complaint, and then we received a second formal complaint from someone completely different, which is why he's now appearing before the board.
So it's two total, because wasn't there one on his file that?
That was a year
That's
ago,
it.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's two
That's the
total.
first one.
Did he respond to any of this, or when you talked to him?
Yes, but I'm gonna allow him to have that conversation
Okay.
with the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, social media, well, that.
We don't have any updates on
No,
this.
and food court.
We discussed at the retreat about creating a subcommittee for the food court, but just breathing some new life into it to make it a little bit more exciting down there.
Yeah. So we need to do a subcommittee for that.
You
Can
just
we
said
wait
talk to the-
until the
talk to
full
the
board
bench.
is here? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah.
I think we can do that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Main Street left, so we don't have any comments from her.
For what it's worth, I did go to the Main Street Active Killer.
Meeting?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Sorry,
and it was, I was very impressed with the job that they did.
Yes.
Main Street put on an active shooter workshop at the convention center. And I was impressed at their approach and how the city went about not only educating, but informing and getting you to think a little on the subject. So yeah, that was Main Street's
Good,
big deal.
good. Yeah. Okay, staff reports.
We have none at this time.
Well, I think that's it. I need a motion for adjournment.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, and all those in favor, aye. We adjourn at 5:27. I gotta go grab it. Faith, you have those
Came
papers
in
I
an
need to
email, I
sign?
printed it.
Did I?
Oh, what?
All the packages,
Well,
Where all the applications are on there.
the applications
I'm
were all
gonna
sent
go
to us,
get
yeah.
the
Agenda?
I have some things I
Yeah,
gotta
I only
sign.
got an I only got the agenda.
No, 'cause the agenda should, maybe the thing didn't fully download.
Okay.
Because she sends it all as one.
I'll tell you what I didn't get
It
was.
was, it was hard to get, oh, I should probably turn that off.
Pumpkin bread.
With the videos?
Yeah.
Take the table and we'll cut it up.
Okay.
yeah,
Because I had to watch the